Okay, you might have heard the rumblings, but the real estate world just got hit by a pretty seismic shockwave. We're talking about a massive partnership between two absolute giants. Zillow, the biggest property website on the planet, and Keller Williams, one of the largest real estate franchisors in the world. Now, this isn't just some small handshake deal. This could totally change the game for how homes are bought and sold. So let's break down what's actually going on and what it means for everybody involved.
And to kick us off, just listen to this quote from the man himself, Gary Keller. What's so interesting here is the tone, right? It's not defensive at all. He frames it as a constructive step forward that really sets the stage for how they see this as an evolution of the industry, not some hostile takeover that pushes agents out of the picture.
So, let's get right into it. Section 1, a real estate shakeup. Because, believe me, this isn't just another business deal. It's sending some serious waves through the entire industry.
Okay, so here's the core of it. Keller Williams is the very first major brokerage to jump on board Zillow's new platform, called Zillow Preview. What does that mean in plain English? It gives KW agents the choice to advertise a house on Zillow before it ever gets listed on the official agent-to-agent database, the MLS. It's all about generating that early buzz, getting way ahead of the game. And in a market where inventory has been so tight, getting that head start is a huge, huge deal.
And that brings us to Section 2, and the multi-million-dollar question on everyone's mind. It's all about choice and eyeballs. Let's talk about why on earth Keller Williams would do this.
I mean, seriously, right? That's what everyone in the industry was asking. Keller Williams has the money, they've got the agents, they've got the tech, so why would they team up with a company that many agents still see as the original disruptor? I mean, let's be real, Zillow completely changed the game by giving us, the consumers, direct access to listing info. That really challenged the agent's role as the gatekeeper. So yeah, this partnership, it's complicated.
Well, according to Jason Abrams, who's the head of industry over at Keller Williams, the answer is actually surprisingly simple. It all boils down to just two words: choice and eyeballs. Let's dig into what that actually means.
So first up is choice. As Abrams puts it, nobody should get upset by having more choices. The whole idea here is to give the agent and the seller more power. It's not a command, it's just another tool in the toolbox. They get to decide listing by listing if it makes sense to pre-market on Zillow based on their specific goals for that specific home.
And then you have the second reason, which is arguably way more powerful: eyeballs. And wow, this number says everything you need to know. 220 million. That's roughly how many people are browsing Zillow every single month. You just can't argue with that kind of traffic. If you want to get the most attention possible on a property, well, you got to go where the people are.
And this chart just perfectly lays out the strategic choice that KW was facing. I mean, sure, they could have built their own platform from scratch. They'd have total control, but it would cost a fortune, take forever, and they'd start with, what, a handful of users? Or they could partner with Zillow, give up a little control, but get instant access to that massive audience. When you look at it from a pure marketing perspective, the choice becomes, well, pretty obvious.
But to really get why this whole thing is so controversial, you need to understand the system that it's kind of challenging. And that brings us to Section 3, the role of the MLS. So for anyone who might not know, the MLS, or Multiple Listing Service, is basically the backbone of the entire real estate industry. It's a local database where member agents share all their listings to cooperate with each other. A great way to think of it is like the official shared library for houses for sale. It's built to make sure every agent has access to the same information, which creates a really cooperative marketplace. But here's the kicker. This whole idea of pre-marketing a home isn't new at all. I mean, agents have been putting up coming soon signs for decades. Zillow even tried a version of this way back in 2014. So what's different this time? It's the scale. It's the official partnership with a behemoth like Keller Williams. And honestly, it's our own expectations as consumers. We expect to see everything right now. This deal leans right into that, and that's what makes this a real watershed moment.
Which brings us right to the heart of the whole debate. Section 4, a fair playing field. This is all about the rules, how they're enforced, and the very integrity of the market itself.
Because this is the central fear, When a powerful new way to sell homes like this pops up, how do you make sure the market stays fair for everybody? For a lot of agents, the worry is that this kind of devalues the MLS, their most important professional tool. They're afraid it could create a two-tiered system. You've got the cool preview listings getting all the early buzz, and then there's everything else. So how do you prevent that? Well, Jason Abrams from KW actually lays out a pretty clear three-point plan for how to do it. First, he says these decisions have to be made locally. Second, and this is the big one, the local MLS has to enforce its rules equally for every single brand, big or small. No playing favorites. And third, the agents and brokers on the ground need to be part of the conversation, helping to write those rules in the first place.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. Abrams argues that the system we have now works incredibly well. He says the U.S. system is the envy of the real estate world because it's so transparent. The system only breaks, he says, when one group just decides they don't have to play by the same rules as everybody else. Equal enforcement is, well, it's everything.
All right, so after all this industry jargon, let's get to Section 5 and bring this all home. What does this actually mean for you, the person trying to buy or sell a house?
When you really boil it all down, the argument is that we, the consumers, are the ones who come out on top. If you're a seller, you get your home in front of millions of potential buyers way earlier, building up interest before it even officially hits the market. And if you're a buyer, you get a sneak peek at new houses coming up for sale, which gives you more options, especially in a tight market. It's really framed as a win-win.
So the ultimate goal, the big picture here, is to create a real estate world where all this competition and transparency actually works for us. More options, more information, and a level playing field are supposed to lead to better results for everyone, whether you're buying or selling.
But that leaves us with one final pretty big question to chew on. As the entire landscape keeps changing and the race for this 220 million eyeballs heats up, who's really in control of the market? Is it still the local agent with all their expertise? Is it the seller who's making the marketing choices? Or is it slowly becoming the platform that has everyone's attention? That's something the whole industry is about to find out.